Hello class. In this chapter we look at some of the ethical rationales for punishment by asking the following two questions. Does society have the right to punish or correct those who commit crimes? And, if it does, where does that right come from? As we discovered, the rationale for punishment and corrections comes from the social contract. In the same way that the social contract forms the basis for police power, it also provides a rationale for further control in the form of punishment and corrections. Recall that according to this theory, our society avoids social chaos by giving the state the power to control us. In this way, we protect ourselves from being victimized by others by giving up our liberty to aggress against others, and should we step out of the bounds, the state has the right to control and punish us for our aggressions. Currently, the state is limited in the amount of control it can exert over us. To be consistent with the social contract, the state must only exert its power to accomplish the purpose of protection, and any further interventions in civil liberties are unwarranted. Two of the well-established rationales for punishment discussed in the text were retribution and prevention. And simply stated, retributive rationale is that individual offenders must be punished because they deserve it, while prevention rationales focus on deterrence, incapacitation, and treatment. Any discussion on ethical framework for corrections must include a discussion of, you guessed it, utilitarianism, formalism, ethics of care, and Rosalind ethics. The principles of utilitarianism for punishment is often used to support three rationales listed above: deterrence, incapacitation, and treatment. Now, this is contrasted with formalism, which is the deontological support of retributive punishment, since it is concerned not with the consequences of punishment or treatment, but rather only its inherent outcome. Now, ethics of care would not probably support any punishment at all unless it was essential to help the offender become a better person, and is defined as a system which meets everyone's needs, including the victim, offender, and the state. Now, Rosalind ethics is an alternative to utilitarianism and retributivism ethics, and starts with the proposition that no one should be treated simply as a means to an end. In closing, what we do to offenders under our criminal justice system is influenced by our views on things such as free will and determinism, the capacity for individual change, and the basic nature of humankind. Punishment has always been used against those who hurt other members of society, and thus might be considered consistent with natural law. However, the limits of punishment have been subject to the laws and mores of each historical era, and will likely to continue to evolve as society's attitudes evolve and change over time. Today, our punishments primarily consist of imprisonment or some form of restrictive liberty such as probation or parole. The death penalty, while still used in many states, continues to be used despite its ever-growing controversy. And lastly, we are also seeing a trend where the state delegates its authority to punish citizens to private prisons, even though serious questions have been raised over this practice. Now, some argue that this practice, or what they say profit motive, is incompatible with the awesome power of the state, which has the right to deprive individuals of liberty in the name of punishment. Please continue with this week's assignments.